What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terri Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Extreme Marketing Concepts, helping you drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition. And now, here's Terri.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Go Mind Your Business. How you doing? So great to have you with us today. I have a wonderful guest that I'm so excited to introduce you to. I actually got to meet her while I was working on a book project on a book that I have coming out in October that I was a co-author of with Joel Comm and about 40 other authors. And I had the privilege of being interviewed by her on her podcast, which will be coming out, in a couple of months. And you'll get to hear a lot about her and her podcast. And she's just an amazing individual. I can't wait to share her with you. Her name is Leeza Robertson. Welcome to our program today, Leeza.
Hi, Terri. Thank you for having me.
Oh, so great to have you. I want to share with the audience why you're just so amazing and why I'm so excited to have you on our program today. So if you don't mind, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm just going to read a little bit of your bio because it makes it so easy here. So let me just share with you guys. Leeza Robertson is a two-time best-selling author, expert book coach, speaker, and tarot deck creator. We're going to have to talk about that too. She publishes as both an indie author and through her traditional publishing contract with Llewellyn Worldwide. Over the past several years, she's been blessed to make some amazing women, to meet some amazing women, and the occasional man on a journey that's changed their lives forever. And they went from thinking of being a published author to actually being up on Amazon in 12 weeks. And they went from a place of I can't to a place of let's do it again. Some even went from an unknown to a best-selling author in under 7 days. And Leeza believes that everyone has a story to tell and to share with the world. And she's passionate about assisting as many people as possible to get that story written, published, out of their heads, and delivered to those people who need it. And that's why she created the Elite Writers Academy, which we're really going to be talking about a lot today. So if you're ready to share your story with the world and get started with creating your legacy, you're definitely going to stay tuned into our program today. So again, Leeza, welcome to our program today. It's really my pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, Terri. You know, and one of the great things about the work I've done up until this point is I've gotten to work with both nonfiction and fiction writers. So that's always a joy for me. I love working in the different genres and hearing how people are so creative in storytelling.
Oh, it's so great. And I so agree with you that I think everybody's got a story to tell. And it's just a matter of getting it out of your head and onto a piece of paper so that you can truly leave that legacy out there and people can know who you are and you truly can share yourself with the world.
Absolutely. And there are so many different ways to do that.
Yeah, we were just talking just now on different ways that I could do that, so it's so great. So why is publishing a book so important for our listeners to achieve greater success in their business?
Now, for business owners, this is where Kindle has revolutionized publishing for businesses. One of the areas I do specialize in is Kindle business books for Kindle, because these days everyone's mobile, everyone's online, and if you're at a conference, I know you've done it, Terri, I know I've done it, the moment someone's caught our attention, what do? We Google them. We want to go see what it is they offer, if they've got any recommendations, and if you have a book on Amazon, guess what? It comes up in that search. So if you're looking for people, especially in business, and you see that, oh, this person has a book, as opposed to, oh, they don't, but their competitors do, likely they're going to go with the person who they feel actually has the more street cred, which is the published content. So that's one really big reason that, in my opinion, businesses really need to get serious about putting their information and their content into the marketplace for consumers.
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. So, you know, what can people get out of having a book published?
It really depends on why they're doing the book. So there are a couple of different reasons that people or a business would write a book. So let's stick with businesses, because I know that mainly business people will be watching this show. So for a business, there's probably about 7 reasons that they would do it. One is for visibility, credibility, cementing expertise, status. They have wonderful advice to give, because remember, if you have earned a specific level of achievement, then that means that there are other people who are looking to do the same thing. So they want to know, how did you get there, so you can provide them the steps and the foundation. The other thing is that it gives you great SEO, and I cannot emphasize that enough. We love to have lots of multiple things pop up when people put our name into Google. And, you know, ultimately, a lot of people just want to say that they've written a book or they've been part of this book project. So there are lots of different reasons. But I think mainly for businesses, they want that visibility, they want expertise, they want credibility, and they also want to be in a place where they're going to add to their bottom line. So adding to their bottom line is also important for business as well. You've got a book, you're going to get paid for it, you get royalties. Think of it as paid marketing and paid advertising while you elevate your status.
Fantastic. And I like that. Paid advertising while you're elevating yourself, and definitely having your material all over the internet is really, really helpful. Perfect. So how do your students typically get started with you? Do they need to have the book first, or are you taking them from concept to completion? What exactly is a strategy that somebody would want to use to get started working with you?
That's a really good question, because what I've noticed is even people who do come to me with a book, they really don't have a book. I work a lot with new and aspiring authors, and they make the same mistakes again and again and again. And that usually is that they're very content driven and not very reader focused. And by that I mean they've gone into great detail, they've written fantastic content, but the moment you ask them about why would people buy it, what's the book for, what's its purpose, what's its strategy, it kind of all falls apart after that. They were just really kind of connected to the content. And that's another reason that I created the Academy, is so that people could come in at any level and still start off with the basic fundamentals and work their way through. So it doesn't matter if you're just at idea phase, or you've already got stuff written down, or perhaps you're a business like yours, Terri, that does a lot of multimedia and you've got a lot of content and it's just time for you to put it together, and you want to know what those pieces are, what are those steps to pulling that content together, getting it into the marketplace and having a launch. All of that information is provided, and as I said, that's one of the reasons I created the Academy, so that all of that information would be there and it gets delivered to people straight to their inbox.
Oh, and I love that. So, and then it's a drip fed program that they're working with you through. Okay, awesome. So it really does take you from, okay, I have a thought, to putting that out, getting it from here onto that piece of paper, and then actually creating a book and moving forward. Awesome. Oh, I love that. Okay, so what if our listeners did get started today and they started getting that content out of them? What could their life look like in 30 days, 90 days, a year, 3 years from now?
Well, I believe that most people, in all honesty, especially businesses, because they've been article writing, they've been blogging, they've done interviews, they've probably done videos, they have enough content for their first Kindle series, which is normally 3 to 4 books. In Kindle, you don't want your books to be any more than 7,000 to 12,000 words, to be perfectly honest. That's kind of the length that the Kindle market is accustomed to. It really is like this brand new audience that we can write to. And as I said, business people definitely have enough content for their very first series. So it would be a matter of pulling that content together and then organizing it. So organizing it into chronological themes. So you want that information to make sense. Say you're a yoga business, and I use yoga all the time mainly because it's an easy example to use, but if you were a yoga instructor, then you'd want to maybe do a beginner book, an intermediate book, and an advanced book. So those would be where you'd be putting your content. So what content is for beginners, what's for intermediate, what's for more advanced. And then once they've pulled all that content together, then they probably want an editor to go through it so that it flows and it makes sense. Put their lead generation content in the back, so whether they're doing an upsell or they want people to join their list, get a cover done and put it up on Kindle. So in 30 days, you could have this incredible book out into the market, and then 30 days after that, drip feed your second one in, and then 30 days after that, drip feed your third book in, and in 90 days, you would have your first Kindle series, generating leads, increasing visibility, strengthening your expertise status, and paying you.
Oh, that's the most important part, I totally think. Being able to monetize anything you do, right? Isn't that part of the reasons why we do some of the things that we do? Awesome. Oh, I love that. Getting paid. So are there specific roadblocks that typically prevent your students from even getting started?
Yes. It's called not putting pen to paper. Or not opening up the keyboard and actually typing. And one of the reasons that this happens, Terry, is because why they're writing the book is just not big enough. They haven't spent enough time at the very beginning, and that's one of the things I always take my clients through. When I've done a writing boot camp or one-on-one coaching, or even inside the academy, you really don't pick up your pen to write for the first couple of months. Seriously, there's a lot of work that needs to be done before you actually start writing to make sure that you'll see the writing process through. And that's normally why it all falls apart. The why is not big enough for them to sustain the effort, manage the time, and meet those deadlines.
Ah, okay. So then, that's going to leave me, are there specific strategies that you use with them to unlock these roadblock doors so that they can achieve this wild success?
Absolutely. And a lot of times that fear is really of being exposed. Once you put something out there, you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone and everyone can now leave an opinion.
Right.
and that can be really terrifying, and sometimes it doesn't hit you till halfway through. When I do a boot camp, and I often, once a year I'll do a 12-week boot camp with people who are crazy enough to go through it with me. And usually around week 6 is meltdown week. And I usually get excited by this point because I know people are all having nervous breakdowns. And it's that realization that, holy crap, this is real. What if my book is a disaster? What if people hate it? How will they see me? Do I really want to put this out? All of those doubts and fears start to come in. And that's really where those roadblocks come in. And we have to do a lot of coaching around that, well, why? We have to go back to that why. Why are you writing the book? What is the purpose? What is the strategy? Who's meant to be reading it? What benefits are there to the reader? And we just have to keep going back and keep bringing that alignment in. But it can be really scary to have your story, especially if it's personal. I've had students write some very personal books, one on finding out they were adopted and then finding their birth parents. One of my clients wrote a book about how she dealt with the loss of her daughter. So some of my clients have had really personal, emotional stories that have just benefited the world greatly once we've got them out there. But it really is getting over that fear, and the fear seems to be the same for everyone.
Oh, so great. Thank you for sharing that. So I want to talk a little bit about the Elite Writers Academy, what it is, how it will benefit our audience today and any aspiring writer moving forward. So tell us a little bit about the Elite Writers Academy.
Yes, because this is a bit of a baby, my baby. You know, this is my baby. I've wanted to put something together like this for quite a long time, mainly because I don't believe that everybody needs my one-on-one assistance. It's great to help people, but 9 times out of 10, people just want to know what the steps are. What are the steps? So the steps have all been broken out into 12 steps from idea to post-launch. So that's how the training goes. So it's a whole 12-month program of, we start with how do you come up with your why and create your idea, to what happens after you've launched your book. So every single step in between is mapped out for people who join the Academy. And we have bonuses for both fiction and nonfiction. I am not a specialist in fiction, I admit that up front, but I have a lot of colleagues who work in the fiction field. So they've created some really fantastic material that I have in the 4 modules for people who are specializing in fiction. So, you know, I always make sure I get the best possible information. So I have it so that it covers both fiction and nonfiction writers. There's also bi-monthly community calls. So we do get on the phone and we do a question and answer every 2 months. So if there is something that someone's struggling with, or they have hit that wall that I was just talking about, there is a moment for some coaching to get through that and find out what is really going on. We have a whole Google Plus community set up with resources, links to writers' conferences, a place for shameless promotion, because I believe everyone should have a moment to be shamelessly promoted. So I give people that once they've launched their book, they can talk about it, or they want to talk about it prior to the launch and try and get some launch partners together. So it's just one of these things that I looked at and was, I had, as you know, Terri, I had it all over my office floor. When Terri first approached me, this idea was on large pieces of paper all over my floor because I really wanted to map it out. And the first part of the program is set out as if you were writing to a publishing house. So I actually run everyone through the same criteria a publishing house would to see if your idea is worth investing in. Because I think that's important.
Yeah,
you know, you need to know if your idea has actually got some legs and it's worth investing in. So because I've done that, you know, I've been through the proposal process. I know what traditional publishers are looking for. I know what questions they ask. And a lot of the experts I've brought on have worked in traditional publishing houses. I thought it was a really good idea for people to run through this program. So if you are hoping that maybe later on you could pick up a traditional publishing contract, if you can run through the first 2 modules of my academy with flying colors, you will blow, you know, these submission guidelines people away, because you'll be so equipped with all the information they ask you. Or if you're just going to stay self-publishing, you will know by the end of module 1 if your idea is worth investing in, both your time, your money, and your energy. And that's important, especially as a writer, because you can get so attached, and then if nobody buys your book, you can be totally devastated, and I don't want that to happen. I want everyone to write a book that has a hungry audience and is going to sell.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. And guys, you can find out more information on Leeza's program by going right here to terribork.com/EWA for Elite Writers Academy. That's terribork.com/EWA. And you know, Leeza is amazing at the knowledge that she shares and the way in which she structured this program. It's so step-by-step and easy and guides you through everything that you need so that you can have a successful book and get that book, you know, to sell once it's actually out of your head, onto paper, and then out into the market. So if you want someone to guide you through everything, I recommend this program. And, you know, just getting to know Leeza has been an amazing for me, an opportunity for me. And I know you guys are going to just love working with her because she's brilliant. So it's right here, terribork.com/EWA. Anything that I didn't ask you, Leeza, about the program that you want to make sure that I do?
I think, well, we're offering it for a 7-day free trial, so you can go ahead and get your first lesson, and it's not going to cost you a thing. And we tried to keep it really reasonably priced too. So it's a monthly fee of about a 10 bottle of wine, $10 chuck. If you're a wine drinker and and you've got a wine budget every week for some $10 chuck, keep one of those 10s and join the Writers Academy and get your book done. So you can go down from 4 bottles of wine a month to 3 bottles of wine a month. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, then I'm guessing you probably spend at least $9.99 at Starbucks per visit. So.
There you go. There's one more cup at home.
One more cup at home.
Yeah, really. Oh, no, you can't beat the price. The price is awesome, guys. They secured this awesome deal for you. So, don't miss out. And I truly believe that having something published it's so beneficial in everywhere. I mean, it's a great business card where you can say, hey, I've published a book, and you can just give it to somebody as why they should do business with you. You can sell it and make money there. But being published, it just you tell someone, hey, I'm an author, and it just adds so much more credibility to anything that you're doing. People are going to usually choose the credible person over somebody else, all skills equal other than a book. So I recommend you.
Exactly.
Here, right?
Right. And one of the things I always tell my clients is the difference between a writer and an author is an author meets their deadlines and puts their book into the marketplace. A writer just sits around and dreams of putting their book into the marketplace. So, you've got to kind of make that commitment. Are you going to be a writer, or are you going to be an author? Because you kind of can't do both. You've got to make a commitment. And, Terri, you're so right. If you have a print book in particular, that really does become a large business card, and it opens up tons of possibilities, especially speaking engagements. So if you're interested in speaking on the platform, a book is a fabulous way to introduce people to who you are and what you do. You just sign it and put it in the mail. It's great for getting interview opportunities. Again, if there's somewhere you really want to be interviewed, send them a copy of your book, sign it, put a personalized card in it, and send it off. So it really is a fabulous business tool. It's one of the reasons, I always say, if you have a business and you don't have a book, then your audience is going to your competitors, because they do.
Yeah. Oh, it's so very true. Awesome. Well, I always learn so much every time we talk about getting my books done, and I'm so grateful to have had you on our program today. Any final words that you want to make sure that we share with our audience today?
Absolutely. Even if they don't want to come and work with me, Terri, which I don't take it personally, just really make a commitment to get your story told. You just have to trust me and trust that I have seen enough people and I've taken enough people on the journey to tell their personal story or their life story. There is someone out there who needs to hear that you got through something, that you were able to conquer a challenge. They really need that reassurance right now. So get the book finished and help someone, be that light in someone else's darkness.
Oh, so great. Well, Leeza, thank you so much for joining me today on Go Mind Your Business. It was my great pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. This was fun.
This was really fun. We're always looking to speak with amazing people on Go Mind Your Business. If you have a business that you'd love us to spotlight, please give me a call or an email, and I would love to talk with them on our show on Go Mind Your Business. I really hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I want to thank you again for joining us today. And until we meet again next week, go mind your business and have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody, now. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terri Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terri next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.